Hi everybody, here's Krystian from Teamworkcast.
And this is the new and improved $6 million putty.
We put some mandatory upgrades into Putty, and he's going to be a robot. He's going to be podcast with us here in Netrunning with Teamworkcast, Netrunner with Teamworkcast. This is the 18th of January at Würfelkiste in Aachen. This is the store championship, Nick.
I enjoyed your personal touch in my upgrades.
I'm gonna personally touch your switchblade, Nick.
This mat is amazing. I want one.
It is a from a Chronos Protocol tour. On the right we have Carl, on the left it's me. Carl is playing Noise, and me is playing HB, Engineering the Future. My good old trusted deck, which I upgraded a little bit, so we're gonna see some new cards. It's the most recent. Like by the time we're recording this, it's the most recent tournament that just came out. So this is in 2015, and the new Azalea pack is the Source.
The Source.
The Source. So there's going to be exciting cards coming up, Nick.
Yes, I'm more excited for Order and Chaos, mostly because I want the infinite chicken nugget gobbler wizard.
Yeah, we're gonna see about that. The Order and Chaos is not out at this point when we're recording this. But I think when we release this, it's going to be already out. So I install 3 ice and do nothing else, and Carl gets out a wild side and gets out a Shaharazara.
What? It's not an alt-art wild side? Do those even exist?
Yeah, weird, right? And the Shaharazara gives Carl 2 recurring credits to install programs, and he uses this to install a data sucker. And also he gets out the same old thing.
Man, he has used every click to maximum effect.
Every part of the buffalo.
Yes.
And his ability as a Noise is that I have to trash every time a treasure card from R&D every time he plays a virus, and so that data sucker was a virus, so I had to trash a card. And so I defend my archives because there might be agendas in archives, and I can already tell you there's agendas in archives. So that's why I put the ice there.
So if anybody ever wonders why they call these millstone decks, millstone was a card in Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah.
So that's where that term comes from.
And that's where the term tutor comes from. Because that was also like a demonic tutor or something.
Yes, demonic tutor. That was an awesome card, and I kind of want to have that as a poster.
Oh, that would be great. So Carl runs on my archives, and of course I have to protect the agenda in there. So I raise the daughter turret, trash the Sahara.
Good job. I don't hate you.
I'm different. We have to say that this is going to be a bit slow game for Carl, because Carl just built his decks. Carl always used to play completely different decks, and he just completely switched around. He used to play Kate.
Kate.
We had in our show a couple of times using his Kate, and he did a good job there. So he has to he has complete new strategy going on. He has to get used to this. And I think Carl was a bit, under the weather at this tournament. He's certainly fighting an uphill battle here. Although his mat is really beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, I really like it a lot.
Then he puts a cash on this mat. So mills another card, gets all those credits. That's really nice. And he gets an Ace of Pawn Shop, so all the combos are in there. And we see Falco.
So instead of calling it cash, can we call that card "This shit is so"?
The what?
Never mind.
That
shit is so cash. Maybe that was a saying from elsewhere.
No. Oh man, sorry, Nick. I'm not with it. So I create a remote server, install a card in that remote server. And what happens now? Restructure. Getting up all the monies. That's the idea of my deck. We already seen a similar deck I played in a Worlds, but this is, I put some enhancement in it right now. I fine-tuned it, and my head might have broken it in the process. Which is going to be hilarious to watch.
So what you're saying is that this is a train wreck. Stick around.
Yeah. I really like that Carl is using Zahara in
You haven't
Noise.
seen that in a while. I'm sort of glad.
Yeah. I think we only had once on our show ever, And it's actually quite powerful card, and especially with noise, because he's playing so many viruses. That's really good.
I don't know. I think we've had it more than a few times, or more than one time. But, I can't remember yesterday, so don't quote me on anything.
I think it was on one of the Kronos Protocol or one of the Düsseldorf regionals, not exactly sure. He does play a Deja Vu to get it back because he really needs that Sahara Zarara. And then he plays another Desaka, trashing another card. Ugh. You have to say, this is usually a tournament. This is a tournament with a lot of high-profile players because Aachen is kind of like the Netrunner Pro Central. And then there's me. I don't know even what I'm doing here. I guess I'm enjoying the community because it's really, really nice.
I'm sort of disappointed in the community because I made a terrible joke on the Netrunner community on Facebook and everyone went, what?
Oh. Nick, you should be used to this.
Yeah, I know. Just once, I would like to not be used to it.
Nick, there's just some people in the community who just take this very seriously.
I don't understand. I hope I play those people, because if I do, I'm going to ruin their entire world. It's going to be like when you play the guy who's encroaching every mat. Oh, man.
So we see an Inject by card here, a really nice card here.
Yeah, it is.
He trashes the Data Sucker here and gets the rest 3 cards back on his hand. The idea is that you reveal 4 cards and then trash all the programs. You get 1 credit back for every program that was trashed this way, and the rest gets on your hand.
And then you find a Deja Vu later, and you get all those viruses back.
Vujade. Mandatory Vujade.
So I recently found out, Krystian, by the way, that I don't have a free paid trip to Norway. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're gonna see each other in New York.
That's true. But I'd rather see you in your country. This country, America, meh.
You should get out of America at least for a while. It's really refreshing.
I'm going to Canada in March.
That doesn't quite count. Anyway, daily casts and an imp by Carl here. Milling even more. This is looking really bad, so hopefully I can score something really soon. I do have 2 cards in a remote server right now, and I icing up archives even more. And I do have plenty of money, so that's nice.
So by this point, the incubator should have been out, right?
Yeah, I wonder if Carl's playing it, because the incubator is something I'm really afraid of. Incubator is really difficult to deal with. What do you do? Purge the tokens? They will just reappear, right?
Yeah. That's a deck that I've been playing with, is trying to get Wizard and Incubator and...
All right, Nick. I want you to pay attention. Are you paying attention?
I am paying attention.
So this is I'm playing the Fast Track here, which is a card I put freshly in here, and I'm getting out a Project Vitruvius.
Ooh.
Why do I get a Project Vitruvius?
I think you're going to do some HB trickery.
And then I put a card I shuffle very thoroughly before I do this in the server. Could it be the Project Vitruvius, and then advance it once?
What is that, 8 ashes?
Yeah, there's 2 upgrades in that server.
And a House of Knives, for some reason.
That would be very difficult.
Krystian, you're blowing my mind.
I'm really looking for some kind of way to cross-pollinate agendas. I mean, you can do this in draft, and we already found out that it's ridiculously fun. But to some identity that can use multiple agendas of different corporations, that would be really nice. Anyway, so let's see what Carl does here.
Might as well throw out that. Come on, sure gamble that thing. Yeah. Oh.
Nope. That's a Jin. So we can host programs, non-icebreaker programs, and he can fetch some viruses. Really nice for him. And I see he has a medium in his hand. And then he sure gambles. That's nice.
Yeah. Money's good. Money is great.
Yeah, money is great. All right, and then it's my turn. I don't think I took a mandatory draw. I will have to look for this. Anyway, I'm scoring the Project Vitruvius with 1 token on it, and I can use a token to get cards from my archives.
Nice.
Which I think I'm going to do almost immediately.
Is that your wallet?
No, I just dropped the battery that's powering the camera that's recording right now.
Oh my god.
Apologize. Isn't the picture quality the best ever?
The picture quality is pretty fantastic. What have you done?
I'm sitting at a window. Pro tip. And you will see the quality deteriorate over the course of this tournament as the light outside fades, because it is of course January and the days are quite short here. Alright, so Carl uses a click, and I think you pay a credit for this, right? To get a parasite using the gin.
Was that not a good thing to say?
And I anticipated that. I actually anticipated the card has a parasite, which is why I put second ice on the archives, because we all know that Trollbus is incredibly vulnerable to parasites.
You mean Rototurret?
Yes, Trollbus. Yes. Oh man, I'm sorry about that.
Rototurret.
Somehow I don't know. It's a turret, it's a boost. You know, it's kind of like a little building.
The same thing. Either way, it's a trap.
It's a trap. Alright, so really, yeah, I think at this point there's a lot of agendas in my archives. A lot of agendas. I really had a really bad draw there. So I decided to ice up the archives even more and ice up that scoring server.
You gotta find your old Jackie Howard.
Yeah, no Jackie Howards, but I do have the Project Vitruvius, and I do have a plan what to do with it.
I miss Carl's podcast.
Yeah, the daily casts run out for Carl there. You know, Carl, get on the podcast. I would listen to a podcast at you. Carl is a nice player, really nice guy. All right, so second Zahara.
He has double Vujades in his hand. Oh my lord.
Yeah, he's all stuck up with the Vujades, and then he gets out the medium. Oof. I'm expecting an assault on R&D very soon. And of course he has the imp even, so he can imp stuff. Ugh, Carl.
Krystian, will you spoil this for us? Does he deck you?
Let's see about that. He gets out a Hades shard. Ugh.
Oh man,
Ugh.
and you straight up paid for it.
Yeah, but he doesn't use it. He does not use it. So he pays straight for the Hades shard for everybody. Hades shard costs 7, and you can trash it at any point to have just access to archives without any kind of run or anything. And it's really nice because you cannot like interject with Jackson Howard as a corporation here. Yeah. But he decides not to use it, so I use my Project Vitruvius to rescue a card, a hidden card from my archives. And I can tell you right away that was an agenda, yes. Because there are multiple agendas in archives right now. And so install, advance. So that's actually the agenda I rescued with Project Vitruvius.
Yeah, noise forces you to play a lot faster than you'd like to.
Yeah, but I really liked, I was very happy that I splashed in the fast track here, because that's something we remember the games from the Worlds, no, from the Nationals, where I was struggling with not drawing agendas out of my deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fast track really helps with that, and also especially these days with the fragments, you can get exactly the kind of fragment agenda that you're needing right now. And in this case, I mean, I specifically got the Project Vitruvius because I wanted to have an ability to rescue a card from my archives. And again, I only have one copy of Project Vitruvius, but I was able to just get this one copy that I really needed. Alright, so Carl gets a Crypsis and installs the Crypsis. He gets the Crypsis using the Djinn.
Mm-hmm.
And because he has the Shahrazararas, he only plays 1 credit for the Crypsis, which is pretty hardcore, if you think about this. This is really good. This is a really sweet deck, actually.
Man, he really needs Incubator in this thing, though.
But he doesn't do anything with a Crypsis, interestingly. He doesn't run on anything.
I don't understand why he didn't use Hyades Shard right away.
Yeah, that puzzles me, because he could have if not won, that at least gotten way ahead of me point wise.
He could have gotten this agenda, which he just got out of the thing.
And now this happens. Now I scored a Hades fragment. So this is really bad for Carl right now, because Hades fragment at the beginning of my turn, I can rescue a card from archives and put it at the bottom of my library.
Yeah, so it's basically the anti-noise card.
Yeah, and I specifically that was the entire. I have to reveal this now. I would like to reveal this now. That's my entire strategy for this. He very early on, his ability trashed this card, the Hades fragment. And I really wanted to score this as the first thing. So I had to use the fast track to get the Project Vitruvius to get this out of my archive so I can score this. But of course,
within plans.
So of course I now have 5 points anyway, so that doesn't matter. But Carl is getting up even more. He installs a David.
David.
David understands human emotions.
David is played by Haley Joel Osment.
You think so?
It has to be.
I thought it was Fassbender.
Give me Fassbender. Of course. I was thinking of the movie AI.
Yeah, it works both ways. All right, so he gets Carl gets a token on Crypsis and runs on our R&D. I give him the access. I don't trash anything, and he gets a token on the medium. So the difficult thing about the Hades fragment is to remember that you have the Hades fragment. In this game, I don't think I forgot it too often. So I remember that now I can use the Hades fragment, because I'm actually now actively rescuing agendas from Hades fragment.
At this point, how many agendas had you had in your discard pile?
I think there was a moment throughout this game where Carl could have won if he just used his Hades shard.
I really don't understand why he hasn't used it.
I'm flabbergasted by this myself, but I'm not questioning if something comes through.
I mean, even if he only got a couple of agendas, he got that out of the way, and he's getting it to the point where he can get through your stuff. So either way, he might have just used it right now, because now he's going to concentrate on the rest of your stuff.
So he told me afterwards, because I asked him afterwards, and he said that he doesn't have too much experience with his deck yet, but from the little experience that he had so far, is he noticed that he was thinking that he can use it at any point later in any way, right?
Yeah, but
because that's usually the case. Like usually later on in the game, you can still use it, and nobody can interject with Jackson Howard in there. And he wasn't used to play against a player that uses a Hades fragment.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that. If it's just an experience,
then
this is a good experience for him, and that's good.
Because I haven't seen the fragments being used too often, and they're awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a deck like this, you have to use it, because it's like the only way you can get around old Jacko.
By the way, we see a run on a remote server by Carl there, and he imped the Eve campaign there, and then now he runs on archives. So I decide to on R&D. So I decide to res the EG 2.0. Yikes! Yikes! Very expensive sentry to break, but he can use the David. He uses the David to break the 2 trash program subroutines. So now the trace subroutine starts, and he pays for the trace, which I don't increase, and now he can access 2 cards because of his ability with medium. He asks how many hidden cards there are in archives. I tell him it's like 5 or 4 or something. It's not much. I'm rescuing them one by one using the Hades fragment.
Yeah, his opportunity has left.
So the thing is, like, the fragments are shunned by pro players because you can only have one of those in each deck, so they're very like unreliable, like inconsistent.
They are unreliable, but why not?
Yeah, because sometimes, especially like for example here, Hades Shard. When you play against the noise player, maybe you don't draw the Hades Shard, you draw it too late, and then it doesn't do anything. So I think using it together with a fast track really makes them more consistent and actually playable in the tournament fashion. Because you can always get the agenda that you actually need for this particular matchup.
Especially for a player who's playing noise.
Yeah.
You would want to have that in there, regardless of what you're doing.
And it's, to be perfectly honest, I was having a lot of problems with noise, and I put it specifically in there just for this kind of matchup, and I'm really happy for this to play out. Carl is having just all those daily casts.
He's not having any money problems. He just can't really get through a lot of stuff.
He
At least not easily.
Yeah, he doesn't really try. But I guess noise is not really known for running all over the place.
But he could. Because if you don't have much money, if he was constantly forcing you to res ice and do all sorts of stuff, he would shut you down. Because he has tons of resources at his disposal. And the more he runs, the more he's going to get.
Carl did a good job at imping the Eve campaign. That really did, turned off like a money revenue for me here. And with David and the Crypsis, he can get through pretty much everything. I mean, he has to pay a lot maybe, but I don't have too much ice out, so I cannot tax him too much. And I really hate David especially because, my deck is about resing huge eyes. That's just very difficult to get through. But with David, you're just like, alright, I love huge eyes, and I cannot lie. And so we see 3 accesses. One is being imped. This is the
Lotus Field.
Oh, he has to look carefully at one card, and then it's over. Sadly, we haven't seen what kind of cards he saw there. But yeah, now it's getting really problematic. 3 counters on mediums. Next access is going to be 4 cards, and he can just get through that EG 2.0 pretty, just with clicking, So that's why I iced up the R&Ds, and I installed a card in that remote server. And now the wild side triggers, and the imp gets spawned.
I'm gonna answer this question because I don't want to ask it.
All right,
on my own.
All right,
don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
All by myself.
Okay. What I wanted to know was whether or not medium was a virus, and in fact it is.
Yeah, everything that gets virus counters is a virus.
Well, I didn't know if it got just counters.
Yeah, because, for example, David also gets counters, but they're not virus counters.
Yeah. That's exactly why I was confused.
Running on HQ. Carl is running on them HQs. Wants to see those cards in my hand. I'm not resing that ice. I don't have too much money. He sees a successful demonstration.
See, okay, Incubator. He could have a ton of fun with Incubator because he could just get a billion counters, throw them all on medium, and then just draw your entire deck.
Running it again, not seeing anything of a value. And I'm monetary. That's not going too well for me right now. I really should be at way higher money count at this point. Alright, we see another cash milling another card.
That shit is so...
Cash. Stop trying to make cash happen. It won't happen.
It will happen. It will. Oh, it will be mine.
Getting the restriction at the bottom of the R&D, and then drawing a card. So now there is a hilarious interaction with Hades Fragment and Showing Off that will come out in Order Chaos.
What is that?
Well, if you with Hades Shard you put all the agendas from archives back on the bottom of R&D. What we're showing off, you can access from the bottom of R&D. So all the agendas you put at the bottom of R&D, you get those. Yeah, I'm just getting monies. I don't do too much. I really need the monies.
There's a lot of nothing happening on this table right now.
This is
I think you should apologize to all the viewers out there for this not being an exciting thrill ride.
There was a warning at the beginning of this game. This is not going to be the most Fast and Furious game.
This isn't Fast and Furious. This is like the movie Driver. Or Drive. I'm sorry. Drive.
Yeah.
The only thing good about it is that we get to look at both of your beautiful hands, just like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, because I'm a real hero and a real human being. Running on R&D. Carlo is running on the R&D. He wants to see that new card. I have to rest the new card. It is just a...
Eli?
I'm Eli.
Speaking of Haley Joel Osment.
He is a little bit like Haley Joel Osment. Oh! You know what really... I was watching this movie Tusk recently.
Oh, I have given up on Kevin Smith. How was Tusk?
Not worth watching. But Haley Joel Osment plays in it.
Ah, that's awesome.
And it was flabbergasting because he's like 20-ish now and corpulent.
Well, I mean, you've seen Secondhand Lions, haven't you?
No.
Oh. You should watch that movie. The movie's fantastic.
I'm like, Annie, you've changed.
Oh,
all right,
no!
we see a run on R&D, and finally Carl gets his agenda, and he trashes the Spice, the Melange Mining Corp.
Those sounds could be imitated. Get rid of that Crypsis. There's like 400,000 cards in the... Why haven't you used the fragment? Oh, God.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But at this point, it's too late, right? I rescued all the agendas. You can tell that I'm rescuing now economy cards. So there's no agendas on my archives anymore.
I'm mostly cringing for Rect, who's probably right now smashing his desk.
Oh yeah, lots of people will be upset about Carl's play right now. I think Carl was very upset about his play right now.
It usually takes me, like when I make a deck, it takes me about 10, maybe 11 games to get it right.
And look at the sloppy sandwich Carl just leaving the agenda like in the middle of nowhere here. It's protecting my R&D and HQ right now.
He's got that levy access. Levy. Use your Vujade.
He has levy access? Are you sure?
Oh,
this is crazy. This is crazy. Why is he playing that noise? That's amazing.
Why not? If he can get his Deja Vu's back, why not?
I know, right? He runs on the scoring server there. I recently installed something in there. He does have 2 tokens on Crypsis. So he can break whatever I rest there if I rest it. He does have all the monies in the world. Like it will be very difficult to keep him out for me. See, I'm not resting, but I do rest the
Ash.
At the Ash.
Trash, dead Ash.
And I'm not increasing the trace, even though I have the money. I can't beat him on a trace anyway. And so he has to pay, like what? 4 credits? Yep, he pays. And then... Oh, I'm asking if I can rest multiple Ashes at the same time. Now, the problem is Ash is a unique card. And the way this works is... you rest 1 Ash, right? And you cannot rest 2 Ashes at the same time, because then one of them would get trashed immediately, right?
Yeah.
And once you rest an Ash, the access has begun.
Yeah.
So afterwards, the access begins, and the trace fires and whatever. And so after the first trace is fired and everything, you cannot then decide to rest a second Ash, right? So that's what happened now. I cannot rest the second Ash. He accesses the second Ash, and then he accesses the Will of the Wisp. And I'm not using the Will of the Wisp. I have to pay for credits. He hasn't broken anything, so I cannot do anything about this. It's just for him. He just clears out the server. He has to pay a lot of money to clear out all the server.
That's a whole lot of depressing stuff that just happened. But I think the valuable lesson here is that don't install 2 Ashes on one server.
No, it's actually really good, because if I had the money to keep him out, then he would have had to like three runs on this in order to score something in there.
Yes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
But in order for the 2 Ashes to work, you need to actually, create a trace that the runner can't break, and I just didn't have the monetary power.
I don't think I've ever played a game where I played Ash. I should make a new corporate deck. I'm getting tired of harming that deck.
Ash is on its way out. Once Drive-By comes out. Oof.
Well, then screw that card.
Things will get different. All right, so
hey, Desperado.
It's not Desperado.
Or Desperado. Cringe. Oh my God, cringe. No.
It's the Grimoire, Nick.
I was gonna say it's the Grim. Son of a biscuit. Damn it.
It gets so all viruses get start with a counter, with a virus counter, and 2 menus. Really awesome console, actually.
It is, and it's very low cost. What does it cost? Like 3, I think.
Yeah, it's not that expensive.
So good.
So good.
Netrunner.
And yeah, we have another David. Yeah, where there's a David, there's at least another David. Ugh. I'm so glad it has so much influence, because we probably won't see it in a lot of other decks. and then we have an imp.
Man, you make room for David. That card is ridiculous.
And I'm like, whatever. I'm just gonna use this Eve campaign here. Even the imp just came out. Yeah, whatever. Let's try this. And I'm rescuing another card from R&D archives. See, I'm also confused. I tried to put it at the bottom of my archives, and it's like it goes on the bottom of the R&D. Oh yeah, right. Oh man,
You know
look at Carl only has one card left in his stack.
You know what's awesome? Levy.
Yeah, but look who decked whom.
Oh my god. You take that back!
So he uses, he trashes. Oh no, he decides not to trash the wild side after all. Or maybe he does. He thinks about this. Carl thinks a lot. It's a difficult situation for Carl right now. Alright, running. Alright, he gets a Crypsis marker, a Crypsis virus token, and runs. It's a Eli.
Eli?
Now Carl has to think. Is it worth it? Carl, is it really worth it? You would have to pay like 6 credits just to get to that Eve campaign.
He has a click left? Yeah, no, that's a no.
And he decides not to continue. He doesn't have the clicks left because he put the counter on Crypsis.
That shit is so...
And you know what that means. We had an unsuccessful run, Nick.
Well, I want to see you. You always look so excited when you put it down. Oh, you're looking for it. You're looking...
Oh, yes.
Successful.
But I got. I'm missing two. I got only 10 credits. No, I should have gotten 10 credits. That's right. And I got 2 credits from the Eve campaign. I just got more credits then. Oh look, now Carl runs on that Eve campaign, but now Eve campaign has already did its duty. It already forced Carl to make an unsuccessful run.
Never again, Noise declares that day.
Our successful demonstration has been successful. Nobody cares what happens to the asset afterwards. And then we see a nerf agent. Yikes!
Yikes!
So that's a medium for HQ, so to speak.
Still hasn't used.
Look at how many programs he has right now.
That kid is still back on the escalator.
He has like all of the stuff here. It's a sailboat, Nick.
Sailboat. I think it's time for a virus purge.
I think it's time for a kryptonite condom.
Whoa!
Oh,
And that would kill him.
Nope, it's time for melange. I'm getting the credits up with the melange.
Name is the killing word.
Fear is the mind killer.
Now all I'm gonna think about is...
Like Rez?
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was called. Man, my brain, it was all like, that game's awesome. Too bad you can't remember the name of it. Lol. Going on break.
So there's a confusion there because Carl actually wanted to get a token before running, and then I give him the token, but that's even better for me now because I do Res Heimdall, and that's very difficult for Carl to get through now with just 2 clicks.
Hello, I'm Heimdall.
Oh, by the way, Carl got rid of the wild side. He partied out.
Oh, that's how he was getting through his...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you throw a parasite on there? You know what's awesome? Parasite and incubator.
Oh man. There's incubator we can create huge imps.
Yeah, you can do anything. And the problem with incubator is that it's easily purged and it costs a click to send your stuff around. But you know.
Yeah, but
whatever.
if you purge it, I mean, it just reappears. Who cares? Yeah, right. You lose a turn for a card that I did nothing for, almost. Carl is thinking hard about this.
If this episode isn't called All By Myself, I'm going to be sad.
Alright, Carl breaks the Heimdall in some kind of hardcore fashion. I'm guessing he uses the David there, and then I res the Lotus Field, and then Carl finally gets through to the Melange Mining Corp and then trashes it.
Nothing going on here. My goodness.
Carl continues being aggressive, but of course you know what I'm waiting for at this point?
An agenda?
Yeah, 2-3 agenda, because I already have the biotic labor. I'm either waiting for the 2-3 agenda or the biotic labor, or some kind of Arc of Memories maybe to rescue a biotic labor. Anyway, I want to fast advance a 2-3 agenda and just end this game. And I'm just not getting all the pieces I need.
You'll get there, man. You'll get there.
Another imp.
Have you ever checked his memory units just to see?
We can check right now. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he has 2 memory units through the Grimoire.
So
Yeah,
he's
he's full right now. Now he's running on HQ. Nothing rests on HQ, but I do have lots of money, so why not? Hey, come on, caduceus.
Caduceus, the ice that pays for itself.
Caduceus is really mean for Carl right now because it's difficult to break.
He either has to pay a lot of money or pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
In terms of how much money he has.
Breaks the first trace. I'm not increasing the first trace. And the second trace is increased by 1? No, I'm not increasing the second trace. And he pays 2 for the caduceus. Tollbooth! Boom! Bam, Carl, bam. I finally got Carl down to just 3 credits. Of course, he can get through the Tollbooth with the David. But, yeah, come on, dude.
But you don't have an agenda in your hand, so whatever.
Maybe I'm not, but he does have a nerf agent. Oh, no, I do have an agenda in my hand.
Get that shit
Carl,
out
where did you put the other agenda? Ah, they're up there. All right, got this. So Carl is at 5 points. I'm at 5 points. That's a nice little game here. And of course, again, I wasn't able to score that agenda out because Carl is too of an able runner to get through to my scoring server, and of course I lost the ashes there, hoping for an agenda that never came. So this is bad. Deja vu to get the caches.
Oh man!
I think, or he maybe not. I'm not yeah, somehow he got caches. Whatever. Drawing the cards. Just need to an answer here right now. I'm just drawing all the cards.
And is it? Yeah, he can't mill you at this point unless he tries really, really hard. But even then,
speaking of milling, I think I forgot to rescue a card.
Oh, you had picked it up, and I thought you were going to, but you didn't.
So, he imps the medium. No, he trashes the medium for Ace of Pawn Shop. Interesting. Carl is really down to the wire right now. Where is his AR Levy gone?
I wondered that too.
I guess it's in his discard pile, so we can get it back with same old thing. Another cash. Another cash.
Another cash.
And Carl
Johnny
is like
Cash.
completely
James
confused.
Cash. Jimmy Cash.
Because Carl has all those recurring credits, and he's like, "Whoa, I don't even." It's like, look at this mess here. It's crazy. And then Parasite. Milling another card, just milling me hardcore right now.
He's just going everywhere.
And he's still not using the Hades Fragment.
Oh my god.
Oh, now he's using a Hades Fragment. Oh!
Is this where he wins?
Shard. Shard, not Fragment. But there's no agendas in there.
Oh, why didn't you use that an hour ago?
Drawing his final card, Nick. Drawing his final card. So we see it installed in my scoring server. It is in Jackson. And using the Jackson to draw cards. This is good. This is a long game. Hopefully, I finally will get the result that will Yes, I think I just drew an agenda. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! getting the credits, because now I need, of course, 7 credits to win this game. 4 credits for the biotech labor and 3 credits to score out the agenda. So, and I'm at 6 credits. So I still probably would need to wait another turn to be able to safely score that agenda. And of course, Carl is breathing down my neck. He does have Nerf Agent. So he can snap all agendas or even the biotic labor from my hand with an imp. And he seems to be attacking my HQ anyway, because there is a parasite on that caduceus. So, yikes! There's also, I think it's a good bet for Carl to expect an agenda on my hand, because I draw so many cards. He's always drawing so many cards. So there's gotta be some agendas in there, right? Parasite. Thinking of parasite. Carl's thinking. He's thinking. Running on HQ. And then he breaks the caduceus, interestingly. Caduceus is still out, but he's lowered in strength. It's now at strength 1. So he only pays, like, what, 3 credits to break it? With the Crypsis. And then he loses 3 credits and uses the David to break the Tollwooth. And now he will see, like, 3 cards. And I know that one of the cards is the agenda, and another card is the biotic labor that I really need. So he imps the successful demonstration. And he actually doesn't see any of my cards that I would need to score this. That was incredibly lucky. Exactly the cards that I wanted him to see. Oh, he does it again? He wants to do it again, but he doesn't get in there anymore because he can't get through the toll booth, I think. Yeah. At least it will be very difficult for him to get through the toll booth. So he plays as
where did that levy go?
A déjà vu and gets a cash out. I'm using Jackson's Heart before I draw. Not exactly sure why. I'm guessing there is a way I can maybe do this, win this game in first turn without getting their monies now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I haven't counted this correctly. I could have already scored it this turn. Because I get a credit for installing. Oh man. I'm irked about this now.
Well, either way, I think it's done, what, next turn, right?
Yes, next turn I'm going to win this game if Carl can prevent this somehow. I replaced the caduceus that was trashed on my HQ, and I installed a card in that remote server. I think that is a Eve campaign. He runs on the Eve campaign. Of course, the idea was to fake him out, to make him think that it is an agenda. So he has to pay lots of money to get in there, but it's just an Eve campaign. He can imp it, but of course he spent all those credits and things, and so now I can get out the biotic labor and the accelerated beta test. That's over, Nick. Wow. Phew.
You have done it.
I have done it indeed. That was a very, very difficult thing. And of course, I'm explaining now to Carl, he could have won if he used the Hader shard before.
Yeah. Like immediately upon installing it, I would say.
So if you're playing Hader shard and you see Hader's fragment, it's time probably to use the Hader shard.
Yeah.
Because the agenda density in the archives won't get better. It just will get worse. Alright, this is the first game from the first round of this tournament. I hope you will join us next time. I promise next games will get more furious than this one. This is a bit of a slow start to ease you into the style of this tournament.
And so as time passes, the planet hacks itself.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet!
Shut up and get in the car!
You're shuffling cards upside down in your deck.
Yeah, whatever,
oh
whatever.
My God.
Go, man.
Son, oh my God.